Check 1 2. Check 1 2. All right, here we go. Let's see. Please text in if you can hear me. It seems to be coming through everywhere it's supposed to be. Let me know if you don't mind to text. Sorry about this. I'm not sure what's going on. The microphone's coming through. Everything, no sound, then sound. Old show, then current show. But right now, can you hear me? 1 2 3, 1 2 3. Check 1. Check 1. Can you hear me? Nope. Okay. All right. Give me a second. Hey, sorry, buddy. I didn't know who else to call. So the microphone is coming through and everything's, but there's no audio. People keep telling me there's no audio. I can hear it literally on the playback on YouTube when I put up the music pot, and it's showing it through on the board. But it's everybody says I'm getting no audio over broadcast. Do you have any idea?
You'd probably have to call Preston on that because they might have an audio board there that they're adjusting it with.
Okay. All right, buddy. Sorry.
Okay, no problem.
All right, bye.
Your call has been forwarded to voicemail. The person...
Control.
Hi, this is Frank from Elmira Corning. I am not.
Hi, Frank.
I'm not getting any audio coming through. Is there anything there that could have the audio down? Do you guys have?
I have no idea.
yeah.
I did notice on the monitor that I'm watching you on
Yeah.
that the show is not going out. So when Preston was here Friday, he mentioned that it was computer 3 that we needed to power down and power back up.
Mm-hmm.
Or whatever, so I could try that little trick to see if.
Yeah, I got a
that'll
feeling
do
that maybe
anything.
when that restarted, I wonder if some kind
I
of
just
setting got
powered-
changed.
I do not know.
No, I
that.
know. Yeah, I know.
But anyway, I just powered down computer 3, and I'm gonna try to bring it back up
Okay.
and see what happens. Because now on my screen, well, it was saying no signal, but
Right.
let's just see what's going to happen.
Okay.
And then the only other thing that Preston told me was something about what was that wire that he called it? Input 3. Updates are on the way. Please keep your computer on. I'm just reading what's on my
Sure.
screen.
Sure.
Updates are
Sure.
on the way.
That's okay.
Restarting.
Check 1 2 1 2.
Yeah, because it has to be an audio, like an audio source that has control.
Check 1 2
is
1
able
2.
to adjust or, yeah, because it has to be an audio from the output of the computer.
Check 1 2. Yeah.
Preston was looking at it on Friday.
I know, this is what I was afraid of.
Yeah, and we had no way of testing it.
Yeah. Yeah, so when I do that, check 1 2, yeah, nothing's coming through on the audio when I change it. Shoot. When I change it, yeah. Shoot. Yeah, so it is. I mean, the microphone's set up right, but it's definitely something on Preston's end when I change it. Yeah. Shoot. Yeah, so it is. I mean, the microphone's set up right, but it's definitely something on Preston's end when I change it. Yeah. Yeah, so it is. I mean, the mic.
Control.
Yeah.
That's something that's pretty good connection.
Yeah. I tried calling Preston. He didn't pick up, so I guess just keep trying.
Did Master Control have any other ideas?
No, she just she told Preston, said what computer it was, so she restarted it, which I didn't think how it would work, but you know, we didn't know. And then some wire, she unplugged it, plugged it back in, and then restarted again. Yeah, I don't know how much he was involved in that on Friday, but
Yeah, and I noticed he doesn't work answer the phone very well, especially for
well, I guess I'll just call Preston again. Oh, there he is. Okay, I'll talk to you later. Bye. Hey, buddy. So I got no audio coming through, but it does work. I mean, the audio, I can hear it on any desk, and I can hear it, and it's coming through on the board and everything like that. It's just not on that end broadcasting audio. Any thoughts?
What do you mean by not on that end?
Well, because everything through here, so on any desk, when I pop that up on YouTube, I can hear the audio. I can hear the audio. I can see the audio on the levels, and I can hear obviously through my headphones, but it's not from whatever point from YouTube to broadcast, it's not playing.
Did you check to see if the audio was turned on?
Yeah, oh yeah. Yep. That's what I mean. I can hear it through any desk. Meaning that like I unmuted it and I can hear that over the one pot on my board.
But we didn't do nothing with audio or anything.
I know. I just wonder if a setting changed at some point. You know what I mean?
I mean, other than we set the computer, I mean, we didn't really.
So I called Master Control and she restarted it.
That's what I'm saying, though. That was the only thing we ever did on that Friday. We didn't do nothing else with it.
So what the heck would it be? Like I said, I mean, everything's coming through. Like I can literally. Check one, check one. Check one, check one. Here we go.
Yeah.
Check 1 2 1 2 3 4. Check one. There's gonna be a little bit of a delay. There's about a 7-second delay. So. Check 1 2 3 4.
No, I need constant audio.
Oh, constant. Here, I'll play an interview. Where's let's see here.
Actually,
Welcome back to Frankly Speaking here on WYDC TV Big Fox. I'm your host, Frank Hagan. We're broadcasting from the Hesselson studio, and in that studio this morning, this is
I don't know.
we're making
I mean,
a regular thing on the program. There we go. WEDA News Club
I've
from
got
Ernie
audio
Davis
playing on
Academy.
mine right
Welcome
now
to the
if you want.
program.
It's just a pre-recorded.
Celia Brown, and I'm in 7th grade.
I'm Madison Hofer, and I'm in 7th grade.
I'm Zoe Razo, and I'm in 7th grade.
Okay, so this is the 7th grade group. So you're in News Club. What would you say each of your favorite part of News Club is?
Anchor.
Anchor.
Yeah, I really like being anchor too.
Anchor's really fun.
Does everybody in the club do anchor at some point?
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Do some people work behind the scenes?
Yeah.
Okay. When you do a broadcast in the morning, your broadcast for the morning, is it, what kind of topics do you choose?
Like, sometimes we, like, don't we do every Monday, we say the lunch,
Okay.
and, like, we say, like, if there's any games and stuff like that.
Okay. Is there a broadcast every morning?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Do you think at some point this is something that you want to go into professionally when you graduate? Okay.
And, like,
Maybe.
Maybe. You don't think so? What is it that you don't like?
I don't really like,
Is there a broadcast every
I just
morning?
don't like being on camera that much. I don't know.
Okay, well, you're doing great. Do you find it, and I asked this before, do you find it,
Maybe.
well, what's your feelings when you know that your broadcast, when you're an anchor,
I don't really like,
all your classmates are going to be seeing it the next morning?
I don't know. I like being on Anchor, but it's also like I'm nervous because I don't want to mess up.
Sure.
My mindset's not to mess up.
Well, mine too. It doesn't work for me.
It's kind of like, it's not embarrassing, but it's just like kind of embarrassing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I know. Well, good morning and welcome. Let me know if you can hear me. We're testing some audio here. Let me know if you can hear me. I would appreciate it. We're trying to get some things figured out on the back end. So let me know. We've got a lot to cover this morning, so I'm hoping that you can see if you can hear me, because we've got a lot of comments, but coming up, if you can hear me, we have a lot of special guests. We have gubernatorial candidate. Oh, you can hear me? Can everybody? All right. You can hear me. All right, let me know. All right, I think a little bit of stutter start here, but okay, can hear you. Great. All right, we are live broadcasting from the Hesselson studio. This is fantastic because we have numerous special guests on the program this morning. Get this. In just 10 minutes, you are going to hear from New York State gubernatorial candidate, Nassau County Executive Bruce Blakeman. He's going to be joining us in studio. After that, the Dream Team. We have Senator Tom O'Mara, Assemblyman Phil Palmisano, and Assemblyman Joe Sempolinski, all in the same room at the same time. So you don't want to go anywhere. Whew. All right. Whew. That was a little nerve-wracking right at the end. I didn't know if we were going to make it. Let's go through some viewer comments before we take, I know we already got to take a break, but I want to make sure we're ready for the 7 o'clock hour. You don't want to miss a thing. Oh, by the way, if I could just take a second. I know Friday we had technical difficulties as well, and I didn't get a chance to mention this. And our thoughts and prayers go out to former Corning City Councilman Frank Muccini's family. He was a big supporter, a big champion of this program. He always loved when we had the San Giovanni Valderno Sister Cities Committee on the program. Frank Muccini passed away last week at the age of 85. The calling hours will be on Wednesday, April 22nd from 1 p.m. till 3 p.m. at Hoy Funeral Home on East 1st Street in Corning. And a Christian Mass will be held the next day on April 23rd at 9 a.m. at St. Mary's Church in Corning. A burial will follow. So our thoughts and prayers go out to the Muccini family. He was a big supporter. I ran into him a couple times not that long ago and had great conversations with him. All right, let's go through some viewer comments before we somehow wrap up this hour. Good morning, Frank. Well, good morning, Mark. Looking like they are playing a cat and mouse game in Iran. First the strait is open, then it is shut. But one thing is for certain, there is no deal soon. Boom, boom, boom. Yes, it's going to get interesting. Comment from a viewer over the weekend. Rush Limbaugh's wife, Catherine, spoke at the Turning Point USA held in Arizona on Friday at 5 p.m. where she compared Charlie with Rush. Oh, I'll have to watch that. I don't know if I've ever seen her speak other than that sad afternoon when you tuned into Rush Limbaugh show and heard her make the announcement. Comment from a different viewer. Good morning, Frank. Well, good morning. Here's a bit of irony, given that New York State doesn't have the available so-called renewable energy resources to possibly run all these air conditioners. New York State is providing New Yorkers with a benefit through the HEAT program, in which the cooling assistance benefit helps income-eligible households buy and install an air conditioner or fan to cool their home. What comes to mind is that New York State wants its cake and wants to eat it too. In other words, it wants to get rid of reliance on fossil fuels, but doesn't have any other alternative resources to support this effort. Furthermore, and perhaps more telling of the idiocy involved here, is that with all these air conditioners in New York City, they'll crash the grid. It'll be a hot time in the old town tonight. LOL. Comment from a different viewer. Good morning. Well, good morning. You often refer to someone as twisting themselves into a pretzel. But did you know about the religious connection to the pretzel? It was invented by monks to be consumed during Lent and to teach children about God. The 3 holes represent the Trinity, the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. The structure of the pretzel represents a person who is praying. You can see it if you are aware that during the time when the monks conceived of the pretzel, people prayed with their arms folded across their heart, unlike we do with our hands. Thought I would point this out to you in case you didn't know the humble history and meaning of the pretzel. Well, thank you very much. Tim O writes in, I am not sure, well, I did receive your text. I have just, excuse me, I've just realized there's absolutely no one in charge of New York State. It is as if Biden retired here. As much as it is easy to tax and spend us all into greater debt, there is no one Democrat or Republican stepping up for hardworking Americans. This only leaves hardworking people leaving New York, moving it more to the left for the folks living off the state. Why don't our local representatives step up? Well, I will say they do. That's a problem with one-party rule that we talk so often about. That with the one-party rule, you can step up. Look at Assemblyman Phil Palmisano. We're going to talk to them all in the next hour. They're working hard. It's just they're overruled by the nature of the game, if you will, of Democrats. All right, quickly. A U.S. Navy destroyer blew a hole through Iranian cargo ships, or a ship, that tried to break Hormuz's blockade, according to Trump. The USS Spearman's destroyer intercepted Iran's Tosca cargo ship in the Gulf of Oman, taking custody of the ship after it refused warnings to stop, according to the president. Quote, today, an Iranian-flagged cargo ship named Tosca, nearly 900 feet long and weighing almost as much as an aircraft carrier, tried to get past our naval blockade, and it did not go well for them. Right now, U.S. Marines have custody of the vessel. The Tosca is under U.S. Treasury sanctions because of their prior history of illegal activity. We have full custody of the ship, and we're seeing what's on board. All right, there's your breaking news. Okay, hour number one is through. I know it went quickly, but coming up in the next hour, at the top of the hour, we are going to hear from Nassau County Executive, candidate for New York State Governor on the Republican ticket, Bruce Blakeman. Then, right after Mr. Blakeman, we are going to hear from, again, the Dream Team, State Senator Tom O'Mara, Assemblyman Phil Palmisano, and Assemblyman Joe Sempolinski. So get ready. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your neighbors to tune in. You don't want to miss this. Mr. Blakeman, actually, I can show that to you. Mr. Blakeman was in the area, obviously Corning. You see Brown Cigar Store right in the background. Bruce Blakeman was right here in Corning on Saturday, and that is Tom Hood, excuse me. I keep saying his name wrong. He is running for lieutenant governor. You have Joe Sempolinski, Phil Palmisano, Tom O'Mara. So we have exciting next hour in store for you. So let's take that break and get ready. When we return, Bruce Blakeman. Stay with us. We'll be right back with Frankly Speaking after this.
What better way to start or end every day than relaxing in your very own Hesselson's hot tub? Massage therapy, relaxation, stress reliever, pain management, soothing muscles, or just spending time with a loved one. Hot water therapy really does make every day better. Hesselson's has been a part of this great community for over 70 years, still being locally owned and operated. So make the drive to Hesselson's and start making your path to a better life today. And after 70 years, it's still fun to poke in the corners at Hesselson's.
Accidents happen. If you're looking for an honest, dependable, trustworthy auto repair shop, bring it to Nappy's. Or if it's undrivable, have it towed right to us. It's your choice where to take your vehicle. Nappy's works with all insurance companies and will manage all vehicle calibrations. Nappy's has a state-of-the-art paint booth and a new and improved repair shop. Let our friendly staff of specialists help you through the process and get it done right the first time. Commit to Nappy's, family-owned for 3 generations.
Thank you for your business.
State nearly $60 million towards improving key roadways across the southern tier.
Many older homes are still at risk for exposing residents to high levels of lead.
The Nani Hood Parent Resource Center once again brought the community together for its annual Halloween parade.
Around the southern tier, the Finger Lake stands out for its scenery and wine scene. This year's dry drought brought some positives to the crop. Lee Com Center is looking for fans to show up and show out.
The Frankly Speaking Roof Cam, brought to you by Boss Security in Horseheads. Contact them today for all your business and home security needs. We are back, broadcasting live from the Hesselson studio. We've got just a moment before we're going to hear from Bruce Blakeman. I want to thank everybody who, when we were having audio problems, were able to contact me and text me. I do appreciate that. I'm going to take a quick break, but I'd love to hear your thoughts. If you happen to see Elise Stefanik and Jake Tapper, she talked about her new book, and her new book just came out earlier in the week. And Jake Tapper asked her about Trump's call for genocide. If you haven't had an opportunity to check that interview out, I would highly recommend it. Elise Stefanik did a wonderful job. Also, there's quite a few things here that I don't think we're going to have an opportunity to get to. So I do have to take a break, and I'm sorry that I'm taking a break right after another one, but we have so much coming up, and I wanted to make sure that I hit the governor's interview right at a gubernatorial candidate, I should say, right at the top of the hour. But a couple of quick things. So we're going to hear from Bruce Blakeman in just a moment. We're going to hear from Tom O'Mara, Joe Sempolinski, Phil Palmisano. Tomorrow's program, we're going to hear about the upcoming job fair at Corning Community College. Then on Wednesday, we're going to hear about the Pregnancy Resource Center here in Corning. The Pregnancy Resource Center of the Valleys is what it's called. And then on Thursday, we're going to hear about Arts in Bloom, a studio and gallery tour. So we've got a very busy week in store for you. All right, let me take that break. Keep those waves, keep the comments coming in. Coming up right after this, we are going to hear from Bruce Blakeman. Stay with us.
What a day. Rock and roll, let's go! Do you want an experience that wakes you up? A place where you can scream to your heart's delight? Go ahead. No one will hear you anyway. Yeah, let's go, baby! Here, you don't just watch. You feel. Come as you are and have a damn good time. That rumble you hear, that growl you feel, that's us. Hell yeah, boys!
Value days are here, and our prices are lower than ever. Stop by your neighborhood Value Home Centers and spring into savings. Save $99 on the Larson White Reversa screen door. Just $2.99 after rebate, delivered and installed. Save $30 on Aqua Vista high spout kitchen faucets. Get it in chrome for $39.96 or nickel for $49.96. Spring starts at Value.
Value for the do-it-yourselfer. Do-it-yourselfer in you.
The are in. 5-star savings on top-rated items and soon at Raymore and Flanagan. Upgrade your comfort with deep discounts on customer favorites like the Artemis Sectional, the Poplar Hills Dining Set, the Richmond Bedroom Set, and more. You can also shop all the top mattress brands and experience the benefit of 5-star sleep. Now is the time to buy. Get delivery in 3 days or less on thousands of in-stock items. 5-star style, 5-star savings, only at Raymore and Flanagan.
Good Monday morning to you here in Elmira with a slight chance for some snow showers lingering in the early morning hours at 29 degrees. That'll change over to some light rain here, chances at least throughout the afternoon. You can see how that kind of dwindles through here throughout the day. We'll warm up to the low 40s here across the entire area as that wintry mix is possible right around the lunch hour. Region-wide, low 40s, maybe seeing a bit more sunshine in Wayland here towards the end of the day. Dry skies Tuesday.
The Frankly Speaking Roof Cam, brought to you by Boss Security in Horseheads. Contact them today for all your business and home security needs. Welcome back to Frankly Speaking here on WYDC TV Big Fox. I'm your host, Frank Acom, and we are broadcasting from the Hesselson studio. And in that studio, what an honor, Bruce Blakeman, our next governor. Thanks for being here.
Thank you so much. It's an honor to be here.
Well, tell us about, before we mention why you were in Corning, how did the annual scope meeting go?
It went really well. We got a chance to talk about many of the issues regarding the Second Amendment. I think people were comfortable with the fact that I will support the Second Amendment, that I am a gun owner myself, that I'm actually being sued because I created a list of people that might want to serve as special deputies. God forbid there should be an emergency. So the fact of the matter is the scope people were great. They're great Americans. They believe in the Constitution. They believe in American values. So we had a really good meeting there.
And what a great organization. I mean, they do so much, and they're so active to get the word out about our Second Amendment rights.
Absolutely. They're great people.
So you're in Corning, and we just heard recently you cut your electric bill in half. Tell us about that.
Yeah, well, first of all, I want to mention that I'm here with Senator Tom O'Mara.
Yep.
I'm here with Assemblyman Phil Palmisano, and I'm here with Assemblyman Joe Sempolinski, who are all great leaders, and we work together to make sure that we can make this a more affordable state. So we're up here in Corning talking about cutting utility costs, and as governor, I will cut your electric bill in half, because if you look at your bill, only 30% of your bill is actually going towards energy. The rest of it's going for taxes, more taxes, of course, by Kathy Hochul. It's going for excessive delivery fees, and it's going for the green energy scam, where they now have $2.4 billion of your money that's sitting in an account in NYSERDA, which is your money to be used for more of these green energy scam projects that produce very little energy, and basically they're very, very expensive. They're the most expensive. Now, we're sitting on one of the largest natural gas reserves in the world here in the Marcellus Shale. We should be drilling that. That is a natural gas and a natural resource that belongs to New Yorkers. And meanwhile, we're letting Pennsylvanians make all that money, and they increase the supply of energy. And Pennsylvania, their utility costs are 50% of what ours are.
Right.
So that's wrong. And that's going to stop when I become governor. We're going to cut utility rates in half. We're going to bring down taxes. We're going to increase economic development. We're going to make people happy again in New York, because they're miserable under Kathy Hochul.
They're miserable. And we talk about this on the program all the time. Everybody's talking, remember the days you talk about the weather, you talk about maybe the Yankees, everybody's just talking about their energy bills now.
Yeah, it's an epidemic in the whole state, no matter where you go, whether it's here in the southern tier, western New York, the North Country, the Capital District, basically the Hudson Valley, Long Island, even New York City. Everybody's complaining about their electric bills because Kathy Hochul wants electric school buses. She wants us to go all electric in our homes. People don't want all electric homes. It's much more expensive than natural gas. And we're sitting on all this natural gas, and we're not even exploiting it. It's ridiculous. It doesn't make any sense. It lacks common sense. It lacks business principles. And, you know, as I say all the time, in high school we learned about supply and demand. This isn't even college level economics, okay? If we increase the supply, it's going to bring the cost down, because we know the demand's always going to be there. But the supply is shrinking under Kathy Hochul's policies. We've got to increase that supply. We've got the resource right here in New York State. We should use it.
You know, what's your reaction when Governor Hochul goes around campaigning on affordability?
It's funny if it wasn't so tragic. I almost fell off my chair when I was watching the State of the State speech this last year, and Kathy Hochul's talking about the affordability problem in New York. Kathy, you've been governor for 4 years. You created this problem. We are the most overtaxed, overregulated state in the United States of America. And when you talk about safe neighborhoods, you are the most pro-criminal governor in the United States of America. Every major policy in law enforcement is pro-criminal. Make it easier for criminals to operate. She fired corrections officers only because they pointed out that it's unsafe. Our prisons are unsafe. The prisoners are running the prisons. The lunatics are running the asylum. And she fired all those corrections officers. I was in Elmira. We were talking about it with the corrections officers. I'm going to hire them back when I become governor. It's a shame. We have National Guard troops in our prisons now. They don't even want to be there. They're not trained to do the job. They don't want to be there. And it's costing us over $1 billion to have our National Guard troops in our prisons. So there's so much work to be done, but I'm up to the task. I'm energized. I've got great Assembly and Senate members that are going to support me, like the ones that are here today. I've got a great Lieutenant Governor, Todd Hood, who's the Sheriff of Madison County. We're going to work together to make it a more affordable, safer state, a state that everybody can be proud of.
And going back to kind of tie those two things in together, corrections officer, public safety, green energy, do you think Governor Hochul, she says she's going to make changes to the climate policy. Do you think it'll be like she did with the supposedly bail reform, where she'll just say she did something with no real teeth to it and then campaign on it?
Well, look what she did with congestion pricing in New York City. You know, the people in New York City and the people who visit New York City have to pay a tax, a toll, on using a public roadway that their taxpayer dollars paid for. And by the way, If she's putting congestion pricing there, she's going to put it in other places in the state. It's a tax. So she said she was going to pause congestion pricing. The day after the election, what does she do?
Congestion pricing.
She puts in congestion pricing. She's totally in league with the communist mayor of New York City, Zoran Mandami. She endorsed him for mayor. He endorsed her for governor. They're working together, and working together, they're going to take away all local control in this state. They're going to take away our freedom. They're going to tax us up to our neck, and the energy costs aren't going to go down. They're going to go up.
And you mentioned New York City, and I saw recently, in the New York Post, where you had said that you would pardon the convicted New York Police Department cooler cop, Eric Duran. Would you tell us about that?
Yeah, so sure. Sergeant Eric Duran was on duty. They were doing a drug bust. Eric Dupree, who was out on a felonious assault charge, was doing a drug buy. He tried to escape on a motorbike at a high rate of speed on a sidewalk with pedestrians and other law enforcement officials. And Sergeant Duran, thinking quickly, threw a cooler in his way to slow him down. Right. He wasn't wearing a helmet. He fell off the bike, and unfortunately, he killed himself. We don't want anybody to die. No. It's not what we are about. It's a sad event. But the person responsible for his death is Eric Dupree, not Eric Duran, the sergeant, the police officer, who was thinking quickly. And he wasn't intending to use lethal force. No. He had a gun on him.
Right.
If he wanted to use lethal force, he could have used lethal force. So at 12:01 on January 1st of 2027, when I'm governor, I will pardon Sergeant Duran. And at 12:02, I will declare by executive order that New York State is no longer a sanctuary state. We are not going to spend $8 billion like Kathy Hochul does in the last 3 years on people who just arrived here. They've been here for 15 minutes. They're not New Yorkers. They haven't earned anything. And I'm not giving them free housing. I'm not giving them free food. I'm not giving them free transportation. I'm not giving them a free cell phone.
And then at 12:03, fracking. So you got a busy, and then you got a busy morning.
You got a deal.
But going back to the idea with the cooler cop, doesn't it just send a larger picture about public safety in the state, that we always side with the criminals and tie the hands of the police officers?
Kathy Hochul is the most pro-criminal governor in the whole United States of America. It's a sad commentary. Every law enforcement initiative is anti-cop. It's pro-criminal. It's anti-victim. I talk to victims all the time. And by the way, I know something about law enforcement because in the last 3 years, I've hired 600 law enforcement professionals, 600 new law enforcement professionals, 400 cops, 200 corrections officers, and U.S. News and World Report says my county is the safest county in America. Not the safest county in New York, the safest county in America. We respect the blue. We fund the police. I have a new intelligence center, a new training village for our police. We want to give them the best training, the best equipment, the best technology so they can do their jobs as safely as possible. But Kathy Hochul is always trying to make it easier for criminals to operate in New York State. It's a breach of our fiduciary duty as the governor of this state. As the governor of this state, she should be looking out for us, not criminals.
How scared is Governor Hochul of you that they sided against you with matching funds?
Well, she's cheating, of course. It's dirty politics. I was certified to get the funds, and then they changed the rules, said they would create a new form for me to fill out with my lieutenant governor candidate. They never created the form.
There is no form.
There was no form to fill out, and then they said I missed the deadline. I mean, that's cheating. She is so afraid of me because she attacks me every single day, and she knows we're gaining momentum. We're now in single digits behind her. We're 6 months ahead of schedule, and she knows that I have the momentum. The people are behind me. People are miserable in this state. They want to be happy again. They want a governor that cares about them, that cares about their families, that puts New Yorkers first, and that's why on January 1st, I will be governor of this state.
How do you think your time as Nassau County executive will translate to being in the governor's mansion?
Well, it's actually been the best kind of on-the-job training because I'm the chief executive of a county that's larger than 8 states in population.
Yeah. Wow.
So, in fact, I've been a governor for the last 4 years, and my county has the lowest poverty rate in the state. I haven't raised taxes a penny in 4 years. I've hired 600 new law enforcement professionals. I've gotten 7 bond upgrades, and I've had 4 budget surplus in a row. So that's the way I want to maintain this state. I want people to be proud to be New Yorkers. I want it to be affordable. I want it to be safe. I want to create jobs. I want to create excitement and opportunity so that our kids aren't moving to Texas, Florida, South Carolina, North Carolina, or Arizona.
And it doesn't seem as if Governor Hochul's concerned at all about this mass exodus of people.
Well, she forced them out.
Right.
She asked them to leave, and then when they took all their jobs and all their money with them, now she's begging them to come out. When I saw that, I have to tell you, I thought it was AI. I didn't believe it was her.
I know.
I couldn't believe that she would be that hypocritical to do that. I mean, I thought it was a Saturday Night Live skit.
I know.
I almost fell off my chair when I found out that
she was serious.
that was her and she was serious.
Yeah.
You drove everybody out. Now you're begging them to come back?
Yeah.
And the policies haven't changed. Why would they come back?
Did you see how the media tried to spin it and say that she was doing parody? That clearly wasn't parody.
No, that was not parody.
No.
That was a cry for help.
I know.
Because she's lost.
Yes. How has the campaign overall been going? What'd you say?
Great. I mean, listen, when we started out, they said I was 26 points behind. We never believed that.
Right.
Now they said I'm 13 points behind. We did an internal poll that says we're in single digits. I believe that poll because it's done by one of the best pollsters in the world. And I understand the Democrats have done a poll and they have me in single digits.
Oh, wow.
And I believe that because all of a sudden Kathy Hochul is attacking me every single day.
Yes. Yeah.
And she continues to attack. She's trying to cheat me out of the matching funds that our campaign's entitled to. So she'll do anything to keep the job. Listen, I only want this job for one reason, to make life better for you and your families, your children, your grandchildren. I want my children, my grandchildren, and my great-grandchildren to come to stay in New York. I love this state. I love the people in this state. I want to make them happy again.
What's the future, by the way, just for those tuning in? What's the future on the matching funds issue?
Well, we're in court right now. And by all accounts, by every legal scholar, we should win a slam dunk.
Right.
But
it should never happen in the first place, right?
Who knows? Kathy Hochul's responsible for most of the judges in this state, so we'll see what happens. Look, if we get a fair shake, we win. Yeah, that's as simple as that. So what's it like for someone that will never experience this when Trump sends out a tweet about you? It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I would say.
So President Trump and I have a very good relationship together. And I'm not embarrassed to say that. You know, let me tell you something. I won re-election in a county with 110,000 more Democrats than Republicans.
Wow.
Okay? And I won in a landslide in a midterm election when other Republicans were either losing or their majority was going way down. And how did I do that? Because I can talk to people about their problems and we can agree to disagree. There are certain people in my county that don't support President Trump. I do. I make no bones about it. I'm not going to be a phony about it. But what I do say to people is, let's not talk about the things we disagree about. How can I make your life better? Let's see what we can agree upon. And that's what I've done in my county. That's what I want to do in the state. If you don't like President Trump, but you have issues there where I can help you as governor, I'm going to help you. I'm going to make it more affordable, and I'm going to make it safer in the state.
Before we go, what's your campaign look like from here on out, from here until November?
Work, work, work.
Yeah.
I haven't taken 2 days off since Christmas. I don't intend to take any time off. I like to work. I love meeting people. I'm out raising money. I'm meeting people all around the state. I'm talking about issues. We're doing all the media stops. I will be tireless. We have a campaign that is just building momentum each and every day. And we're 6 months ahead of schedule.
Right.
And Lee Zeldin, who was a great candidate and a great public official, he came within 5 points of winning. And we've looked at his model, and we're improving on it. And look, I have an advantage over Lee Zeldin. Kathy Hochul didn't have 4 years as governor. Now when people compare my record of not raising taxes, of cutting taxes, safest county in America, budget surpluses, bond upgrades, against hers, which is nothing more than failure, overtaxed, overregulated, electric rates 50% higher than the national average, unsafe communities. I have an advantage over Lee because I can now say the things Lee was telling you about that she was going to do, she did them. And that's why we're in trouble, and we'll fix it.
What was it that made you decide to run? Because this isn't an easy task ahead of you. What was it that that made you just make that important decision?
So that's a very good question. So I had no intention to run for governor. I had just run a very difficult race, but I won in a landslide, but had to work very hard with 110,000 more registered Democrats in my county. So obviously I got a lot of Democrats that voted for me. I got a majority of independent voters. But the reason I'm running is because even on election night, I started getting calls from people around the state saying, you're the guy that can beat Kathy Hochul. You got to run. You got to run. And I wasn't enthusiastic to do it.
Right.
I had a vacation with my family planned. And I said, I tell you what, I'll travel around the state. I'll talk to people. I'm going to take their temperature. And every place I went, it was the same story. People were miserable under Kathy Hochul. They encouraged me to run, business leaders, community leaders, political leaders. So, you know, I felt that I had to do my duty for my kids and my grandchildren and for your kids and your grandchildren. So I decided I had to do my duty and run. And I know I'm going to beat her. I know I'm going to be the governor on January 1st. And help is on the way, folks, because you are going to have a governor that makes you happy again. You're going to have a governor that cares about you, puts New Yorkers first, not people who just arrived here 15 minutes ago, and a governor who will bring down costs and have safer neighborhoods for you and your families.
You noticed during your speech in Corning, there's a lot of support for you here in Corning, isn't there?
There's a tremendous amount of support all around the state. Every place I go, people are like, thank God you're running. Please, you got to change the course of this state. We are in a downward spiral right now. And with the communist mayor of New York City and Comrade Kathy as the governor, if she were to win, God forbid, our 4 years would be hell, our next 4 years. I want to make people happy. I want to make people prosperous. I want to get better jobs in the state, economic development, make this an exciting and vibrant place to live rather than a place that's a punchline all around America.
When you talk to so many people, because obviously you're talking to everyone on the street, you're out campaigning.
I just got to check to make sure that's not
Is that
President
Trump? Is that President Trump? Okay.
But he's done that to me before.
Has he really? That's all right. Well, you can take it if it is. I don't have to tell you that. What are people saying on the campaign trail to you? What is their biggest concern?
Affordability is number one. Safety is number two. Health care costs are number three. I mean, our Medicaid bill is the size of Texas and Florida combined, both states that are bigger than us, which means that there's a lot of fraud and abuse. I want to deliver better services, more quality services, but who's getting all this money? It's not going back to the people. It's not going to health care. It's going for all of these social projects that cost billions and billions of dollars that don't help anybody other than the people that contribute to Kathy Hochul's campaign. So healthcare is very important too. We got to bring healthcare costs down as well.
Before we go, what would you say to voters that are tuning in right now that maybe have not had the opportunity to talk with you?
I would say that help is on the way. You don't have to be miserable anymore. I want you to be able to afford not only the necessities of life, but some of the luxuries, like being able to take your kids on vacation or buying your daughter a prom dress without having to sweat it out. Right. I want to make safer communities. I want to make a vibrant economy and create jobs and economic opportunities so our kids stay here in New York State.
And how can we help your campaign?
Go to BlakemanForNewYork.com. Contribute money because I'm up against Kathy Hochul and her hundreds of millions of dollars of support from special interest groups. Volunteer for the campaign. Ask for a sign. Sign up for our emails and our text messages. Go on Instagram. Go on Facebook. If you like what we're saying, say you like it. Share it with somebody else. Let the message get out that we can have a safe, healthy, and affordable state. We need new direction. Bruce Blakeman will be that type of governor.
Our next governor, Bruce Blakeman. Thanks so much for giving us so much time today.
God bless you.
It's good to see you in Corning. We'll see you again soon, I hope.
Absolutely.
All right, stay with us. We'll be right back with Frankly Speaking after this.
New York State is putting nearly $60 million towards improving key roadways across the southern tier.
Many older homes are still at risk for exposing residents to high levels of lead.
The Nani Hood Parent Resource Center once again brought the community together for its annual Halloween parade.
Around the southern tier, Finger Lakes standouts for its scenery and wine scene. This year's dry drought brought some positives to the crop. Lecom Center is looking for fans to show up and show out.
One of the busiest highways in America. Thousands of trucks travel up and down it all hours of the day, and big trucks can cause catastrophic injuries. That's when you need the power of William Mattar, the largest motor vehicle accident firm in the state. At William Mattar, we only handle motor vehicle accident cases, and we fight for big money and big results. Hurt in a car, only call William Mattar.
Workforce invites you to the 2026 Regional Job Fair at SUNY Corning Community College, Wednesday, April 22nd from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Area employers with immediate full-time, part-time, and internship opportunities will be on hand, with many conducting on-site interviews. It's free and open to the public, so bring an ample supply of resumes and dress for success. Explore, network, and upgrade your career at the Regional Job Fair inside the gymnasium at SUNY Corning Community College, Academic Drive in Corning, Wednesday, April 22nd from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m.
I had to pack up all my things. I had to leave my home. And I never knew where I was going next. It felt like I never even had a say. But then you came along.
Change a child's story. There's a child in foster care waiting for a volunteer like you. Learn how you can help at National Cost.
Frankly Speaking Roof Cam, brought to you by Boss Security in Horseheads. Contact them today for all your business and home security needs. Welcome back to Frankly Speaking here on WYDC TV Big Fox. I'm your host, Frank Hakem. Bruce Blakeman just left the studio. Now we've got the dream team. Look at this, 3 at the same time. Hi, guys. How you doing?
Good, Frank. How you doing?
Good. So how you were a part of the launch for the Cut Your Electric Bill in Half and touring with Bruce Blakeman. What were your initial thoughts, I guess?
Well, it's number one priority right now. Right. It's the only thing, the main thing that constituents are talking about. You know, our offices are inundated with calls day in and day out about these overwhelming bills that we're getting. And while Governor Hochul and the Democrats in Albany talk about affordability every other sentence out of their mouth, everything they do makes New York State more expensive to live in. Utility bills is just one prime example of that. Since the CLCPA was passed in 2019, electric costs in New York State have gone up over 60%.
How refreshing was it? I know Phil and I have talked about this from the beginning on the radio, but I think we've all talked about it at some point. How refreshing is it to hear from Bruce Blakeman that we will open to fracking?
But great to hear.
Yeah.
It's important, and you know, it's our number one resource that we can have economic growth out of in the southern tier of New York State. The southern tier is very supportive of fracking, and to not be utilizing our major resource in this state is it's unconscionable, frankly. That you know, we all know that we need an all-of-the-above approach to energy. I'm supportive of wind and solar, but we need natural gas, clean burning natural gas. We need to be improving our natural gas power plants to make them more efficient and lower emitting, and that's being done. Be done all over the country, but New York State is blocking those types of projects in the state, and it's just making our utilities much more expensive.
And something that will be very specifically positive for the southern tier, which obviously sometimes our friends from New York City and the governor, who seems to be affiliating herself over time more and more with New York City, they forget about us in the southern tier. So something like fracking, which would specifically be helpful to the southern tier but have a positive effect everywhere, it was great to hear it from the county executive.
Phil, how excited were you when you knew that Blakeman was going to come and talk about energy?
Listen, we saw a clear contrast between our current governor, and I will stress current governor, and Bruce Blakeman. I mean, Governor Hochul has said time and time again she's for an all-of-the-above approach. She's for affordable energy. But her policies do not match her words. She is quick to blame the utilities for the rate increases. I'm not saying the utilities don't hold some responsibility, but she fails to take responsibility. That's her green policies and her green mandates that are driving up utility bills. some of her policies. I mean, like I mentioned at the press conference, the Climate Superfund, a $75 billion retroactive penalty on businesses that follow all the rules, regulations, and laws of the state of New York. She says she wasn't there for the CLCPA, but she was part of the Cuomo Hochul team.
Right.
But since then, she was the architect of the Climate Superfund All Electric Buildings Act, which will increase the price of new home ownership by up to $25,000, according to home builders. Cap and invest, the mother of all unfunded mandates, the all electric school bus mandates. I mean, EV mandates, the advanced clean truck rule, advanced clean car rule, which would devastate the trucking and auto industry in New York State, the 100-foot rule, policy after policy. And then from a cost perspective, we're talking about a plan that's more than $250 billion, as much as $500 billion or more, according to the Empire Center. That's double our state budget that we're talking about. And the residential electricity rate in 2019, before the CLCP, was 17 cents a kilowatt hour. Now it's more than 26 cents a kilowatt hour, more than 50% higher than the national average. And just the governor's own policies, people came up this week, a couple weeks ago, in a memo. Not our numbers. These are the governor's numbers. If they don't do any changes or pauses to this green energy scam, green energy New Deal, it's going to increase utility rates or heating costs by more than $4,000 annually. It will increase a price of a gallon of gas for drivers above and beyond what it is now, $2.23 a gallon. We'll increase the price for diesel gas by $2.41 a gallon. This is above and beyond the current price. It will increase utility costs for small and medium commercial-sized businesses more than 46%. And it will increase delivery truck cost operations by more than 60%. You cannot say you're for an all-of-the-bill approach and for affordable energy with that as your policy resume. But your help's on the way. And with Governor Blakeman, we're going to see that. We see that discrepancy, not just on energy, not just on affordability, we see it on public safety, on immigration policies. We're heading in the right direction, but we need to get support, and we're going to get it done.
Joe, I know last time you were on the program we talked about this, and I just talked about it with Bruce Blakeman. But is it that Governor Hochul's that scared why he's not getting the matching funding?
Yeah, they did him dirty. That was malicious bureaucracy. They said he filled out a form that did not exist late.
Yeah.
It was a trick.
Yeah.
And it's a trick that is undermining the fairness of the election. It's undermining a free choice for people. So I would say it sounds like she is afraid. And Mr. Blakeman is suing. I'm glad he's suing. If he gets a fair shake in court, he will win. This shouldn't have happened in the first place. You know, the public matching system, there's a lot of problems.
Sure.
But if you've put a system in place, you have to treat all candidates fairly. We play within the rules fairly. And the Democratic Party and Kathy Hochul have completely undermined that. And I hope that it just sparks people to realize what's going on with the Democrats in New York State and prompts people across the ideological spectrum to support Mr. Blakeman's candidacy.
And we talk about one-party rule on this program so often, but right now you guys are in the thick of the budget process. How is it that it's one-party rule, all Democrats in the room, the 3 Democrats in the room, they still can't come to an agreement?
It's frustrating and it's pretty hard to understand. And you know, going through it as the ranking member on the Finance Committee for our Republican conference, you know, I'm our point person on it. Speaking to my counterpart in the Senate and the majority, I don't think that the members in the majority are even engaged in the conversation based on the information we got. I asked questions on these budget extenders. What's going on with these discussions? What are the holdup? No information. You know, I don't expect them to negotiate in public, but I expect them to inform us and New York State citizens what the major issues are and what the various sides are on them. And we're not getting that. And we'll get it like every other year in past budgets. We'll get it at the 11th hour. We'll get a message of necessity from the governor so the bill doesn't need to age for 3 days. We'll vote on it within 12 to 24 hours. And it's no way to run responsible and open government, and it's gone on far too long in this state. And the Democrats just continue to go on this to abuse the power that they have. And the public campaign financing block to Bruce Blakeman is just one more example of that. You know, they talk about affordability every time. The Senate Democrats put forth an energy affordability package in Albany this week. Well, nothing that they put forth would lower your energy costs today. We put 2 amendments up on that. A bill of mine that would return about $3 billion of surcharges that have been collected by ratepayers, being held by NYSERDA for these green new energy projects, and their financial plan has an excess of $2 billion being carried forward every year for the next several years.
And
that money should be returned to ratepayers.
And we quoted you on that last week. I mean, how frustrating is that for you when you're just looking out for your constituents? You're looking out for all the people of New York, and it's a no vote every time.
It's a no vote, and while they talk about affordability, every Democrat in the Senate voted no on that.
Yeah, it's unbelievable with one-party rule. By the way, since we have you here, Senator Tom O'Meara, we had the pictures up. How nice was that with Thecky, Officer Thecky?
Oh, with having Mike up there, that was fantastic. What an amazing story. The guy, his attitude is just unbeliable.
He stopped here the other day. He's such a nice guy.
What he's gone through, the multiple surgeries, and it's just an amazing, remarkable story. 2 young boys, the night of the incident, I learned when they were up in Albany being recognized, I learned from his wife that the night of the incident, when she shows up to the hospital, the doctor said, "Go say your final goodbyes."
Oh my gosh! Wow.
And I mean, it's just such a traumatic and moving. I mean, I was floored by that. And then within about a week, he starts coming out of the coma.
Yeah.
And the doctors tell his wife again, "Well, he might come out of the coma, he might be around, but he's not going to walk again."
Wow.
And now the guy's been through multiple surgeries at virtually every level of his spine, and gone through a lot of therapy. He's walking without assistance. He's in a lot of pain and discomfort still. He still has no feeling on one side of his body. He still has no smell or taste on that. He's got 2 young boys that he can't get down on the floor and roughhouse with, which boys that age need to do. And his outlook is just so fantastic. Really? And he wants to get back into law enforcement. I mean, it's a remarkable story.
And I will say they're doing great. They've got the ice cream stand and walk-ins, and then they've got crystal cleaners. He just recently got crystal cleaners.
That's right. He just opened that. Yep.
He's doing real. So back to the budget, because I asked Senator O'Meara, what are you guys' thoughts on the budget as of right now?
Well, this is something that appears it's going to drag on for a while. My 2 colleagues are point people in the Senate and the Assembly on the budget, finance, and ways and means, so I'll defer to them in a second. But everything that I've heard is this could drag out, that this is something where they're not even close to being done, which is frustrating because it's all Democrats fighting with Democrats over silliness. I know that when we have Governor Blakeman, things will run a lot better when we get to the end of the budget season.
What do you think, Phil?
Yes, I mean, we passed our 4th budget extender last week. We've only passed 1 budget bill. We have 9 more to pass. When I questioned my colleague Gary Prello, the chair of the Ways and Means Committee, I tried to say, let's put it in baseball terms. I mean, where do we stand right now? Are we in extra innings, or are we in the middle of the game? Where are we? Because we don't have any details. He said, well, it depends. Are we talking about Little League, or are we talking about pros? If we're talking about Little League, maybe you're a little closer. And then he amended that conversation on our following discussion on Thursday. He's like, it's more like that we're taking batting practice before the game even starts.
A doubleheader.
It brought us a little laughter, but at the same time, it's kind of a scary thought. It's just such dysfunction. I mean, their one-party control continues. When you talk about the budget, I mean, we're talking about a budget that's going to be over $260 billion, or more than $250 billion. I mean, and all they want to do is spend money. I mean, we don't have a spending problem in New York. We have, well, excuse me, let me rephrase that. We don't. They want to raise spend. They want to increase spending and increase taxes. We don't have a revenue problem in New York. We have a spending problem. And they came out with a proposal this week to increase taxes even more. They want to do they would like to tax the finance industry more and more. I mean, we're just going to drive more and more people out of the state. Our all-year budget gaps, we're looking at 3-year budget gaps of over $28, $29 billion. I mean, this is not the right approach. And on top of it, I think some of our colleagues in Albany think that it's their money, and they keep forgetting it's the people's money, and we need to rearrange that. And I know under Governor Blakeman that will change.
All right, so before I get your predictions on when you think it'll actually pass, I've got to ask you two, you guys got town hall coming up.
Yeah, we do. Senator Borrello.
You're making the tours with Joe now, I see.
Thursday.
Yeah.
Provided we get out of Albany.
That's right.
Oh, that's right.
Because our schedule is not set. We're only supposed to be in Albany on the schedule Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday next week. We have this town hall set for for Thursday night over in Allegheny County. And, hopefully we get back in time to do that. There's going to be a lot of preparation and notices that have gone out. We'll have to reschedule. But I'm hopeful that we're going to get back in time and be able to do that based on the last week's schedules. If we have to do another budget extender this week, we should be able to, on Thursday, we should be able to get out in time and be able to make it to the town hall.
And I like being able to do the town hall with Senator O'Mara, with Senator Borrello. So you're going to have the entire Allegheny County State Legislative delegation together. And all of our offices, including Phil, including Chris Friend, Andrea Bailey, we all work very well together in the Southern Tier and Finger Lakes region. It's a real team sport, and our staffs do the same thing. So as constituents come to that town hall with a particular issue, you're going to have everybody right there. I'm really looking forward to it.
It's a little out of our area, but I thought I'd promote it for you guys.
Allegheny County's great.
Yeah.
It's going to be nice to have a governor we can work with.
Yes, that's right. Exactly. All right, before we go, what's your prediction? When do you think the budget's going to pass, Phil?
Just so we have a little fun internal poll. I don't know if it's fun, but I predicted May 7th at 1:45 a.m.
1:45 a.m. Interesting. All right.
I haven't got down to hours of the morning that it will be, but I'm quite certain it will be the wee hours of the morning when it ultimately is passed. But I'm thinking second to third week of May.
All right.
Yeah, I'm sort of similar to that. I'm going to go May 22nd.
May 22nd. All right, there we go. Guys, thanks so much for being on the program. It was nice seeing you and the next governor, Bruce Blakeman. We'll have to do this again soon. We'll have to get Chris in here. We'll have to get bleachers and have everybody
There
come
we
in.
go. Whole gang here.
All right, stay with us. We'll be right back with Frankly Speaking after this.
CSS Workforce invites you to the 2026 Regional Job Fair at SUNY Corning Community College, Wednesday, April 22nd from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Area employers with immediate full-time, part-time, and internship opportunities will be on hand, with many conducting on-site interviews. It's free and open to the public, so bring an ample supply of resumes and dress for success. Explore, network, and upgrade your career at the Regional Job Fair inside the gymnasium at SUNY Corning Community College, Academic Drive in Corning, Wednesday, April 22nd from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m.
The Declar Deals is here, and it's exploding into April at Chilson Wilcox. Drive home a Ram 1500 and save over $6,400. Plus, get 2.9% for 72 months or 4.9% for 84. And this comes with the best powertrain warranty in the business. 10 years, 100,000 miles. Or save up to $8,400 on a 2025 Jeep Grand Cherokee. But hurry, only 13 left. They all must go. As always, get the highest trade-in values. Period. These deals won't last. When they're gone, they're gone.
It's been said that families are like branches on a tree. We grow apart in different directions, but we are joined at the root as one. Coming home will always be the best part about family. This message brought to you by the U.S. Air Force and this station.
Good Monday morning to you here in Elmira, with a slight chance for some snow showers lingering in the early morning hours at 29 degrees. That'll change over to some light rain here, chances at least throughout the afternoon. You can see how that kind of dwindles through here throughout the day. We'll warm up to the low 40s here across the entire area as that wintry mix is possible right around the lunch hour. Region-wide, low 40s, maybe seeing a bit more sunshine in Wayland here towards the end of the day. Dry skies Tuesday.
The Frankly Speaking Roof Cam, brought to you by Boss Security in Horseheads. Contact them today for all your business and home security needs. We are back, broadcasting live from the Hesselson studio. We want to thank our guests, gubernatorial candidate Bruce Blakeman, and of course, State Senator Tom O'Mara, Assemblyman Joe Sempolinski, and Assemblyman Phil Palmisano. It's not even Fridays with Phil. Today was Mondays with Phil. Let's go to some viewer comments. The last three Republican candidates came into Brown's Cigar Store. Blakeman didn't. Last one lost. Maybe this means he will win, LOL. Okay, that's fair. Comment from a different viewer. I love the way Bruce thinks. He gets my vote. Go Thurman Munson. Mark writes in, I agree with Blakeman. Let's get fracking. Everyone will benefit like they have in Pennsylvania. Thank you, Mark. Continuing, I'm very happy that Bruce Blakeman is on today. I've already sent him money, and I wanted to listen to him today. I've had it with Kathy Hochul. Thank you. Well, thank you for watching. Comment from a different viewer. Good morning, Frank. Well, good morning to you. Even if I didn't like Bruce Blakeman, I'd still vote for him, but he's very likable. I was disappointed that Stefanik dropped out, but she waited so long to enter the race. She probably had reservations anyway. Thank you for getting him to sit down with you. I'm much more optimistic about his chances. Well, thank you very much. Comment from a different viewer. Good morning, Frank. Rough start, but thank goodness we were able to see such a great interview with Mr. Blakeman. I agree. I'm glad that we had the opportunity to sit down with him. Question from a different viewer. Question, if Blakeman was speaking, why didn't Republicans fill the square? He's more interesting than no Kings. That's a fair point. It wasn't really a rally. It was a press conference. So they didn't present it as a rally to kind of pack the square. It was to get kind of the media there. And then, of course, the people in Corning that were walking by. So it wasn't really set up as a rally. So I understand what you're saying. But as you know, if it were a rally, I would have brought it to your attention ahead of time. Coming from a different viewer. Good morning, Frank. Good morning. It was great to see the dream team all together this morning. Make New York State affordable again. We need policies separate from New York City. Upstate New York is not New York City. High utilities, high taxes, high housing costs, and raising everyone's wages has not worked. Democrats are just rearranging deck chairs on the Titanic. Time for a change. Thank you very much. And finally, great interviews, Frank. Glad you got to run the show today, that you got the sound back. Me too. I'm glad that we were able to play those for you. I was very excited about it. I posted on Facebook, which I very rarely do. I was very excited about it, and I thought the interview went great. We've got a couple of things. I do have to take another short break. Couple of updates on stories that we had from you last week. Did you see Marjorie Taylor Greene? My goodness, they love her now. Marjorie Taylor Greene stokes Trump assassination plot rumors. Quote, President Trump of all people should be leading the charge to determine all the facts of what happened that day in Butler, Pennsylvania during a campaign speech 2 years ago. Why isn't he? That's the question. Then, as I've said about the term useful idiot, former MAGA loyalists question Trump's sanity and lead calls for removal. President's past allies consider invoking the 25th Amendment after President makes genocidal threats. I know this is from the Telegraph, and it just came out over the weekend. This story, that kind of headline has been over and over again, and it's always quoting Marjorie Taylor Greene. She's loving the attention. Before publicly falling out with the president, resigning from Congress in January, Marjorie Taylor Greene was one of the loudest MAGA voices in Washington. Just over a year ago, she was wearing a cap that declared Mr. Trump was right about everything. Last week, she claimed he was not even right in the head, demanding the 25th Amendment be invoked after his threat to bomb Iran back to the Stone Ages. Quote, how can any person that is mentally stable call for an entire civilization of people to be murdered? That's not tough rhetoric. It's insanity. So Marjorie Taylor Greene getting the attention that she loves. All right, we've got a lot to cover, and we only have about 15 minutes. So keep those comments, keep those waves coming in, and we'll be right back with Frankly Speaking after this.
Accidents happen. If you're looking for an honest, dependable, trustworthy auto repair shop, bring it to Nappy's. Or if it's undrivable, have it towed right to us. It's your choice where to take your vehicle. Nappy's works with all insurance companies and will manage all vehicle calibrations. Nappy's has a state-of-the-art paint booth and a new and improved repair shop. Let our friendly staff of specialists help you through the process and get it done right the first time. Commit to Nappy's, family-owned for 3 generations.
Thank you for your business.
Are you my rideshare?
No, I'm William Mattar. Just reminding people, if you're injured in a rideshare crash, to give me a call.
Thanks.
Hey, what about me?
Yep, drivers too. Injured in a rideshare crash that wasn't your fault? Give me a call.
Got it. Rideshare crash? Call William Mattar.
Right. Now on to the next rideshare. Rideshare crash? Only call William Mattar.
You design primary care that connects. Care that helps you move forward. Care that connects you to world-class specialists. Care that connects you to providers who are part of your community. And care that connects you to the life you love. Because great healthcare comes from providers who care about connection just like you. Find your primary care appointment at centralishealth.org/.
The Frankly Speaking Roof Cam. Look at that picturesque view of historic Marcus Street in the Gafford District. Brought to you by Boss Security in Horseheads. Contact them today for all your business and home security needs. We are back broadcasting live from the Hesselson studio. You know, we've talked a lot about Eric Swalwell, but there's a couple very interesting pieces. One is by, who's this by exactly? Robbie Sove, and says, did the media miss the Eric Swalwell story? Swalwell has quit both jobs, meaning running for governor and his job in Congress, after numerous sexual misconduct claims reported by the San Francisco Chronicle and also CNN. And without getting into all the detail, that Robbie writes, which brings me to my next question. One I've seen various conservatives asking on social media this week. Why now? At first blush, it does seem rather strange that the accusations against Swalwell would take so long to come out. CNN's Brian Stetler described the Swalwell story as a testament to the power of investigative reporting. And there's some truth to that. The Chronicle and CNN reporters did a great job, but still, Swalwell's been a major national Democratic figure for years. He ran for president in 2020. Additionally, he's been a constant fixture on progressive and mainstream media programs. Per usual, now that the story is out there, one encounters all sorts of Democrat staffers, politicos, and media figures whispering that they had heard the gossip about him for years. It takes a lot of work for a media reporter to hit publish on a story that contains such weighty accusations. But I find it strange that no one tried back in 2020, particularly with Me Too still being a major topic of interest for the media at the time. That said, conservatives inclined to complain about this might consider whether their own media institutions also missed the story. After all, there was nothing stopping them from digging into it, but that means investing in real reporting talent, not just clickbait and hot takes. Tim Graham writes, a natural instinct at the broadcast network news divisions are to play up Republican scandals and controversies and bury troubling stories about Democrats. So it's interesting when they pick up a Democrat scandal, drive a Democrat out of office, and then drop the story like a hot potato. That's what happened with Eric Swalwell. The broadcast reports would include Swalwell's, and it goes into too many specifics. Democrats, including his mentor, former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, and his best friend in Congress, Arizona Democrat Senator Ruben Gallego, professed complete ignorance until the last minute of Swalwell's so-called double life. These kinds of denials explain why the press lacks any investigative ambition. None of them wants to be on the wrong side of Pelosi. The broadcast reports would include Swalwell's insistence that the allegations were false, but their overall tone said he was gone, and the problem was the atmosphere for young women working as staffers on Capitol Hill. Reporter Bethany Allen said on X that she heard information on Swalwell's behavior in 2020 when at Axios, but because it wasn't her beat, she simply passed it along and never reported it. When conservatives pounced on that, she blamed the conservative media like it's supposed to be their job to expose Democrats, not the liberal media. Democrat strategist Michael Torrio posted on X Thursday morning that a reporter with Politico was working on verifying the rumors on Swalwell when he was running for president for a few months in 2019. Quote, 2 days before he was scheduled to sit down with this reporter, Swalwell dropped out of the race. The energy disappeared to potentially take him out, end quote. Journalists could say there's a chasm between rumors of sexual misconduct and verifiable allegations. But it could be argued that the broadcast networks didn't wait for verification before spreading rumors about conservatives, as in the Supreme Court Justice Brett Kavanaugh confirmation process. The burden of proof is much lighter on the right. It didn't matter that one of the most aggressive pushers of wild Kavanaugh allegations was one Eric Swalwell. There's also, we don't have time. We got to take one more break and then wrap up today's edition of Frankly Speaking. So get your last second comments in and we'll be right back.
What better way to start or end every day than relaxing in your very own Hesselson's hot tub? Massage therapy, relaxation, stress reliever, pain management, soothing muscles, or just spending time with a loved one. Hot water therapy really does make every day better. Hesselson's has been a part of this great community for over 70 years, still being locally owned and operated. So make the drive to Hesselson's and start making your path to a better life today. And after 70 years, it's still fun to poke in the corners at Hesselson's.
Kyle just
made a decision that would change his whole world.
Hey, you're sober? You drive.
Kyle just made a decision that would change his whole world. Drive sober or get pulled over.
Good Monday morning to you here in Elmira with a slight chance for some snow showers lingering in the early morning hours at 29 degrees. That'll change over to some light rain here, chances at least throughout the afternoon. You can see how that kind of dwindles through here throughout the day. We'll warm up to the low 40s here across the entire area as that wintry mix is possible right around the lunch hour. Region-wide, low 40s, maybe seeing a bit more sunshine in Wayland here towards the end of the day. Dry skies Tuesday through
The Frankly Speaking Roof Cam, brought to you by Boss Security in Horseheads. Contact them today for all your business and home security needs. We are back, broadcasting live from the Hesselson studio. Viewer comments. Rick writes in, Trump just lies and lies. There is no deal where he got everything he wanted. The Strait of Hormuz is not open. It is not an open international waterway. The enriched uranium isn't part of the deal. Iran more than likely spent tens of billions of dollars to get that uranium to 60%. They won't give it up. Old 12-pack cash is MIA. What a brain fade putting him in that role to start with. Bigger mistake not removing him. Doesn't look like Trump's hand-picked dragnet is holding up very well. All those fools put into those roles, FBI, Homeland Security, Attorney General, to go after Trump's enemies. Let me ask you Trump something. Let me ask you Trump something. What in the heck is Jared Kushner doing negotiating a way for his father-in-law to get out of a war he should have never gotten into? Isn't that Rubio's job? Well, Demolition Don is ready to wipe out all the power stations and bridges in Iran again. Then the U.S. will pay to blow it up, and then the U.S. can pay to put it all back again. But don't worry, Don thinks all this stuff through out on the golf course every weekend. Wonder what Trump has in store for us this week. Tough times, all I can do is shake my head. Comment from Mark, despite the technical difficulties, it has been a great show. Go, Bruce Blakeman, and vote red. All right. Wow. We are out of time. This is unbelievable. There's a really interesting piece, and I don't have time to get to it because we're out of time. But if anti-Trump judges don't get the message soon, the country is in big trouble. And they go through and talk at the New York Post editorial board about all of these activist judges who've decided against Trump. The Boasberg slapdown should reemphasize that though it may be appealed to the full D.C. circuit, and possibly then to the Supreme Court, having the judiciary police itself is far healthier than, example, the drive for congressional impeachment proceedings against Boasberg. In that context, Dugan's abuse of power merits a sentence harsher than what a civilian face would be obstructing an officer. That would further drive home the lesson. Our Constitution grants the president immense powers to execute his chosen policies. Judges should never substitute their personal opinion for the law. And if our courts don't stick to that, the country's headed for far bigger trouble. All right. That does it for today's edition of Frankly Speaking. 86% of Ohio University students voted in favor of an anti-Israel referendum. When we talk about the problem with the education system, that's a glaring example. But we are out of time. Thank you to gubernatorial candidate and Nassau County Executive Bruce Blakeman for being on the program this morning. I also want to thank Assemblyman Phil Palmisano, Assemblyman Joe Sempolinski, and State Senator Tom O'Mara for being our guest. It's been a fun show, even if we did have some technical difficulties at the beginning. But we hit the ground running, didn't we? Join us tomorrow and every weekday morning, starting at 6 for Frankly Speaking, only on WYDC TV. Big Fox. We'll see you bright and early tomorrow morning. I look forward to it already.
This year, WYDC is bringing you 25 New York Mets games free over the air this spring and summer. No fees and no subscription services. Tune into WJKP 48.2 to watch the New York Mets this MLB season. Let's go Mets!
See workforce in Invites you to the 2026 Regional Job Fair at SUNY Corning Community College, Wednesday, April 22nd from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Area employers with immediate full-time, part-time, and internship opportunities will be on hand with many conducting on-site interviews. It's free and open to the public, so bring an ample supply of resumes and dress for success. Explore, network, and upgrade your career at the Regional Job Fair inside the gymnasium at SUNY Corning Community College, Academic Drive in Corning, Wednesday, April 22nd from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Kids time. Ask them how they're feeling and listen.
The Declaration Deals is here, and it's exploding into April at Chilson Wilcox. Drive home a Ram 1500 and save over $6,400. Plus, get 2.9% for 72 months or 4.9% for 84. And this comes with the best powertrain warranty in the business. 10 years, 100,000 miles. Or save up to $8,400 on a 2025 Jeep Grand Cherokee. But hurry, only 13 left. They all must go. As always, get the highest trade-in values. Period. These deals won't last. When they're gone, they're gone.